We are hosting the first webinar dedicated on the for the collider. So firstly, I will give you the floor for the short presentation on the collider and also the Ecole Polytechnique. And I just want to mention Gaelle, she is the director of the International Relations Department at Ecole Polytechnique.
Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Phyllis. So good morning to everyone. So as Phyllis just mentioned, so my name is Gaelle and I'm going to give you an introduction of the network EuroTeQ and the objective of the program. So I'm going to share my screen to show you some slides. And I hope I will be more lucky with the technique than my colleagues. So tell me, yeah, I guess you see the screen. Yeah, great. Okay, so let's discuss about EuroTeQ, the engineering university. So as you can see here, so the goal of this project, of this program, is to train European engineers of tomorrow. So I'll give you more ideas about what it means to train engineers of the future. So first of all, the story started with with universities, so European universities who decided to gather to build what we call a European university. As you can see on the map, so the network of our European university is very wide. So from university to the north to the south of Europe. So starting from Estonia, Tallinn, in the very north, to Ternion, Israel, in the very south. So today, so we have students from each university of this network. So first of all, of course, I'm very happy to have you here and thank you for your interest for our network. So as you can see on this map, so if you are part of this project and if you decide to be part of the collider or one another project of this network, you will have the chance to work together and to meet students, professors from the universities of our network. So I will give the list of the university. So in Estonia, so we have the university, we have TalTech, so the University of Technology in Tallinn. In Denmark, we have the Technical University of Denmark, better known as DTU. In Eindhoven, so we have Eindhoven University of Technology. In France, Ecole Polytechnique. In Czech Republic, we have the University of Technology of Prague, Technical University of München in Germany, EPFL in Switzerland, and the Ternion in Israel. So what kind of program, what can we do to get all together, this network together? So first of all, you have to know that together, so we focus on programs for education mainly, but not only. So we involve the students, but we also involve the staff, we involve the professors and all the ecosystem of our universities. So far as today, we have 4 flagship projects, and each of those flagship projects target different people. So first of all, I'll discuss about the course catalog, which targets, of course, the students. So all the university of the network created a virtual course catalog that allows the students to take courses in a partner university. Most of the program of this course catalog is virtual, so that means that you do not have to go to another country to take a course. You can do it from your accommodation where you live in your country, and you can take one or more courses in a partner university. You can validate ECTS or not. It depends which program you come from. Of course, the course catalog is something very innovative. A lot of strength has been put for developing this program. And of course, we are very thankful also to the professor who are involved in this project to make it possible. The second program, it targets the professor and teachers. So this is the Innovation Learning Lab. So in the frame of this Innovation Learning Lab, so the professor gather and brainstorm about pedagogical education, innovation, and they collaborate to innovate in the way they teach. We have also a special program, the Teaching Fund, that allows the professors to have resources to realize their projects. So the goal, of course, is to create a network of professors who work together and who develop innovative teaching methods. Then we have the staff mobility, which is, of course, dedicated to the staff. So this is like the Erasmus program, you know, it's for the administrative staff who would like to go abroad to a partner university to learn about also the methods and to have an exchange on the process according to their work. And finally, the program why we are together today is the Collider. And this program is very specific because it does not target only one kind of people, but it targets the whole ecosystem of EuroTeQ. Through this program, we would like to involve, of course, the students, but also the professors, the industrial partners, the local partners in general. This is why today we gather to speak about this Collider and to have all this ecosystem on board for this project. In the frame of EuroTeQ, the Collider is more dedicated to subjects related to sustainable development. This is a choice. Of course, the theme of sustainable development is important for us. Yeah, I'll give more information about it later. Okay, so let's talk about the EuroTeQ Collider. First of all, you may ask, but what does that mean? What is the Collider? So, and why we chose this name, Collider? So first of all, you have to know that the Collider is really a name that we chose because we think that it expresses very well what we want to create, which is to have collision of ideas from diverse groups. As I mentioned just before, we want to involve a lot of partners, a lot of people which are part of the ecosystem of EuroTeQ to create this collision of ideas, to brainstorm, to discuss together, and to find solutions together. So the name Collider is important. And what are the objectives? So if you are part of the Collider, that means that you will be part of a network. You will work with European partners. You will work with your counterparts, but not only. So if you're a student, you will meet other students, but also professor, industrial partners. And if you want to be part of the Collider, it also means that you are interested in the nowadays challenges. And of course, sustainable development, as I mentioned just before, is one of the greatest, of the most important challenge of today. And that's why the Collider today is really focused on this topic. So the Collider is a challenge-based learning method. So in the frame of the Collider, so we create teams that work together on a subject. And it's, of course, another way of learning. So it's a kind of very innovative way of learning and of bringing people together on a subject. So there is a long process, as you can see, from the announcement of the challenge, how to define the subject, how to involve the people together, until the last step, which is the EuroTeQathon. So that means that first, if you are part of the Collider, you will start on your campus, working with people from your campus. But the goal at the end is to work at the European scale and to meet people from the other universities. So in the frame of the EuroTeQathon. And of course, there is an award ceremony for the teams who are going to win the EuroTeQathon. The other goal is also, of course, to meet with the industry partners. So the teams who go until the EuroTeQathon will have the chance also to visit the industrial partners. So this project is not new. So we have launched this project since the very beginning of EuroTeQ, of the European University. As you can see here, this project is more and more successful. So from year to year, we have more and more student teams, we have more and more challenges, we have more and more solutions that are co-created. So if you want to be part of this Collider, so you see you are part of a project which is increasing and which involves more and more people. The format of the Collider is different from each university. So that's why today I will not be very precise and I will not tell you exactly what is the format because it depends from which university you come from. Even the length of the Collider is different from one university to another, from 1 week to several months. So this is something you have to see also with your university, or you can ask questions today according to your university, but I will not be more precise for the moment. And here, so to end this presentation, so we wanted to show you this picture of happy students. This is the teams who gathered last year, so in 2022. The students gather in Thun, in München, in Germany. This is what we call the winners, the finalists of the EuroTeQathon. So as you can see here, they met during 3 days. And I would like maybe to mention that this is really, I think this is the final step that brings the students together, the professor together. This is maybe the most important step of the project. Which create this multicultural environment and which creates a multicultural exchange. So as I said, it's a long process from the beginning of the Collider to the EuroTeQathon. And I hope that today we will give you the motivation to be part of this beautiful project. So the next one in 2023 will be in Czech Republic, so in Prague. Which is another good excuse, I think, to be part of this Collider, beautiful city to discover. Yeah. So I will stop from now. So if you have, of course, questions, please ask.
Thank you, Gaelle, for these informative presentations. So maybe before the question that will be later on. I will give the floor to Adamu Mohammed Kabiru. He's one of our students at Ecole Polytechnique, our master students. He participates to the Collider and the EuroTeQathon, the second Collider, of course, in Munich, and the EuroTeQathon in Munich. So he will share his experience into the Collider and his experience also into the EuroTeQathon. So thank you, Adamu. So I will give you the floor.
Okay. Standing on the existing once more. My name is Adamu Mohammed. I'm from Nigeria. I have an academic background in civil engineering, and currently I am an M1 student in environmental engineering and sustainability management in Ecole Polytechnique. So I first heard about the EuroTeQathon in the first week of September during our orientation week last year. So it was announced by Elise and Stefan, our course director, and the EuroTeQ official in Ecole Polytechnique. So that's how we got to know about the EuroTeQathon. A few weeks after that, we had another meeting where the collider will be used as our scientific project, and 3 areas were mentioned. And not limited to these, we were asked to work in the context of France for the forthcoming Olympics in 2024. So when I reviewed the 3 areas, which were energy, consumption, and smart cities, I've always wanted to work in a project, that has to do with plastic waste. So using this opportunity, I wanted to bring my dream, alive. So I decided to take up the EuroTeQathon. So in the process of working on the EuroTeQ project, I learned a whole lot of things. First, I had to form a team which consists of people with different backgrounds. So it was a multidisciplinary approach. I have a background in civil engineering. The second person studied chemical engineering, and then the third person studied mechanical engineering. So it was kind of a multidisciplinary approach. Also, participating on the EuroTeQathon, we had an advisor, person of Dr. Olivier Chapleur, who was always guiding us and helping us to assess our weekly progress. So we had meetings with him mostly Tuesdays. So, and then he was always giving us feedback. So beyond that, we had professional contacts from Elise, so, and then it's one of the most beautiful thing about the EuroTeQathon Collider project for me, because I was able to connect with other people who have similar experience or industry experiences, over the years. So for example, I connected with Pat Sharma, who performed really well in the consumption sector from last year. So even up till now, we communicate via LinkedIn, through emails, which is something very wonderful. It's a professional contact that will last a lifetime. Delving into projects proper, the trip in Germany was really amazing, beyond the competition, beyond the project. So initially, we started with games to get to know each other better, which I found really very interesting. So the following day, we had this session where we could pitch our projects and then get feedbacks from students. So now it's way of making it a collaboration other than the stiff competition. So like when we all compete, share ideas, indeed we are all winners trying to make the world a better place. So it was really a very remarkable experience, because people were able to give their feedbacks and from points that we never envisaged. So it was really wonderful. Now going directly into the competition, we pitched. Okay, we had winners. It was there was also another interesting phase, the tension, the joy. So it was mixed feelings. So, and then after the project, we returned back, made few friends though from there too. So part of the takeaway for me also in the EuroTeQ Collider is the ability to assess resources, because like in Ecole Polytechnique, we have Gaelle Innovation Center, but prior to this time, I only see the building, but with my participation on the EuroTeQ project, I was able to go there, met Peterson. So, and we were working on a design project, wanted to change, like, wanted to make an innovative design on liquid packaging, liquid beverage packaging. So I also learned like other sides to design, things to put in mind, things to consider. So design felt beyond the final appeal to the consumer. Design also has its own laid out principles, which I learned from Peterson, who has many years of experience. So the process leading to our final presentation, meeting with industry leaders, like I've said, helped us to gain like deeper insights into our project. We met with Kim. Kim is a professional contact who was recommended to us by Elise. So we had different meetings, although in between the projects, we had our challenges, and our ability to solve our challenges also made the whole experience worth it. So for instance, we had differences in meeting time. So we had to make use of visual meetings, even though we were in the same school, because we had different academic timetable. So we had to come up with a way to tackle this challenge. So not mind, irrespective of where you are, irrespective of the time. So we were able to use visual tools such as Zoom, the Microsoft, and like when we are free, majorly weekends, we tend to bond maybe in the evening, like beyond the project, discuss other things, tend to like interact. So it was really a very beautiful and amazing experience, generally, I would say. So leveraging on this, I would encourage students to participate in the EuroTeQ Collider, to help them bring their dreams, alive. Maybe there's a project that you've always conceptualized. So through this means you have the network, you have the resources, you have the tools, there are professionals in this field to guide you. And beyond this, when you go, I don't know the arrangement for the next one, but with the template that we used the previous year, using such kind of templates, you can easily get feedbacks and also get to know other people's opinion about your project. So if it's something you want to delve in the nearest future, this feedback will assist you to produce like a solid project. So, I thank the organizers, I thank everybody, and I can say that the experience was really, really, really worth it. Thank you.
Thank you, Adamu Mohammed, for your testimonial. Perhaps could you please tell us much more the work process from the idea of your project to the pitching, how this idea came out in your head, or is it you were the initiator, or maybe other one of your colleague or partner of your team group? How can you just explain a bit on this as well?
Okay, so when we started working on this project, we were given a scope, which was to provide solution to the forthcoming Olympics in 2024. So, and then a colleague, or like one of my team members, has worked in the stadium before. So, and then though I wanted to work on this particular project, but I was not going to limit myself to like the idea or like what I had in mind. So I was like, okay, since you've worked in the stadium, can you highlight the possible challenges that you've had, things you feel like changing or things that have gone wrong? So we began assessing from the security point of view, okay, what are the security challenges? And then she was like, there are cameras. Okay, how about the energy? Okay, there are a few things in place. How about these? How about that? How about, so it was like a brainstorming session, from a personal point of view, rather than going to the internet. So although we are quite lucky though to have like someone with this experience on the team, so we're able to tap into her own experience to get like from the direct source the possible problems that that they encounter like in the stadium during matches, because she studied in the UK. So like in between, she took jobs working in the stadium. So through this, we're able to get a better perspective on what happens in the stadium. So, and then after, she gave us this feedback that there are usually issues of plastic PET bottle waste. People tend to leave them around, tend to leave them littered, and it's a whole lot of work to have them picked. So, and then since we are environmentalists, we're environmental engineers, we wanted to provide a sustainable solution. So we looked at the biodegradability of the plastics, looked at the materials. We looked at even the scope in which the competition, like the scope we were given, which was for like the Olympics. So we wanted something that that both fits into the EuroTeQ Collider and also fits into the scope that we're given, and also to propose it maybe as a solution for the coming Olympics. So we had like so many objectives with one project to solve. Then after we arrived on the plastic design that we wanted, or like the project that we wanted to work on, so we adopted one more person, and then we became 3. So the third person was tasked to work on the design, so why we contact industries to see, like I was in charge of that, to contact, because we had to split the duties and responsibilities amongst ourselves to make it faster. So whenever we hold meetings, we try to collate the progresses we've made, the challenges, and then try to help each other navigate each other's. Though we were working independently, but we were like as a team, we had to divide the duties. So we assisted each other. The third person handled the design. My other colleague in charge of the PowerPoint, and then trying to summarize our research materials. I was in charge of making contact with industries, trying to put other like things together, and I was more of like the leader of the team. Though we are all equal, but like yes. So and then
so
when
you really enjoyed this project at the end and working on particularly this project environmental project. Thank you, Adamu Mohammed, for this testimonial and for this detail. So now we'll give the floor to Olivier Chapleur. Olivier Chapleur is the teacher that mentor Adamu Mohammed, of course, a team, but also another team for the Collider at Ecole Polytechnique. And he will share with us his experience as a mentor and as a teacher within the Collider project. So Olivier, I will give you the floor. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Felix. So I'm very happy today to share this experience I had in the Collider as a teacher working with the different teams from the Ecole Polytechnique during the challenge. So I'm currently working as research scientist in the Public Research Institute in France, but I'm also teaching at the Ecole Polytechnique in the Environmental Engineering and Sustainability Management Master, the master in which Mohammed is currently enrolled. And so that's why I was initially linked and asked to take part to this Collider. So I tried to figure out what I could give you as my experience in this project, and I tried to pick a couple of words that could summarize my experience. So I'm very happy because I think these words they were mentioned by Mohammed during his talk just before. But I think the 3 main most important words could be novelty, impressive, and also pleasure. So let's see why I picked these different words. First of all, why novelty? Of course, all the projects we're talking about in the Collider, they were very innovative. But for me, the novelty was also something else. I think one of the ideas of this Collider was to do some challenge-based learning. And I think this, for myself, was very new, but also for most of the students, it was a different perspective that was offered to them to do something in the framework of this Collider. So I have myself a background of engineer, but I've been working in the academic in biology for a while, and my teaching is probably also very academic. And in this experience, not really an experience, but in this Collider project, the idea was really to do something very different from classical teaching, and there was a challenge. It was a challenge for myself because I needed to provide some meaningful support to the different teams of the students. And well, I needed to find of course, to give them some feedback, but also to go further to help them. So I tried to guide them all along the project by giving them some milestones, some deliverables, suggesting to write a couple of things, very different things. We had very regular meeting that I hope helped them to refine their ideas and also to build the different projects to try to figure out who could be the potential partner, engineer, scientist, industrial that could help them and also provide them some additional feedback and high-level feedback on their. So I think I learned a lot during that. It was definitely new for myself, but I think it was really also a novelty, an important novelty for the different students taking part to this collider. The second word I picked up was impressive. So I've seen the project from the very first idea to the final presentation in Munich, and as it was mentioned by Mohammed, there were plenty of changing during this project. They initially had an idea and they built on that initial idea, and they continued to adapt and to modify the project as they were getting more information, more feedback from the different persons involved. And they really modified and this project until the end. Some projects, they significantly evolved also in the last day and even in the last hours after meeting the other students from the Collider program for the other universities, and the results in all the cases were really great. And so I was really impressed by that. I was also very impressed because the students, they were not working alone, of course, they were working in teams of students, and they really had great ability to work together and to gather their own skills and with the target of a common objective. And that was really, someone mentioned the word co-creation. That was really co-creation experience for them. And I was really, really impressed by this level of co-creation. And the last word I selected was pleasure. Why this word? Because I think it was really great to discover the different topics, of course, for myself, the different topics from the teams from the Ecole Polytechnique, but also from the other university. But it was a very great pleasure to follow the development of the project, to see the evolution, the maturation of the ideas, and also to see the impact of the final in Munich. Mohammed mentioned that there were a couple of days. In the first days, they had some games together to learn about each other and also to train together to exchange ideas on the project, but also on the presentation. And I think it really helped to polish the projects of the different groups. And it was really a great pleasure to see the final presentation, final output of the different groups, to see also these different interactions between each other and to see how meeting other fellows from other university benefited to the project, and I guess also to the students themselves. So yes, if I want to conclude on my own feedback as a teacher involved in this Collider EuroTeQathon project, it was a really great experience, and I think it will also in a way refresh maybe the way I will teach, because I think I've also seen different ways of doing things and different ways of trying to point out important question and points, and that was definitely a great experience also for myself.
Thank you, Olivier, for your testimonial. And also I want to mention that for Olivier, it was also the first time to monitor a group of students into a talent-based learning. And I think you did very well. So hopefully you will collaborate more together. So now I will give the floor to Federico Medda So Federico Medda participated into the EuroTeQathon. So he will share with us his experience and also experience as a startup as well. Thank you.
Hi. As a bit of background, maybe we took part in the EuroTeQathon in Munich last November with our own startup. It's basically me and my other two co-founders, and we are developing a new alternative to chips, the one that you eat. So we're a food brand. We make snacks, and we try to make chips from traditional Indonesian food, which is tempeh. So we take that and we make chips out of it. So we took part into the EuroTeQathon as we were doing a food course specifically to work on our startup, and we got informed about the existence of the EuroTeQathon and that we could take part in it in the consumption category, and that's what we did. So weirdly enough, we didn't take one of the courses that were part of the Collider, but we only took part in the EuroTeQathon in Munich. And that for us was a really amazing experience because first of all, going there as a team and just the experience of going there together and talking with so much other people and getting so much feedback, that really helped us a lot. And that was also the first time that we kind of brought our product and our idea to so many people at the same time. So that was really an amazing opportunity for us. And second of all, so since as we focus our product on health sustainability mainly, and the EuroTeQathon last year, its focus was more on the environmental side of sustainability, and that kind of pushed us to explore that side for our product as well. So on how to, for example, in our case, we focused mostly on how to reduce waste, and specifically in our production methods and how can we make them more sustainable and better, and how to reuse the waste that we are creating. But at the same time, it helped us realize where we're actually already sustainable and where we where are our strengths somehow. So for example, we use legumes as ingredients, and legumes are natural fertilizers in their own way, and that was kind of the spin that we brought to the EuroTeQathon, and that also that it helps us realize. So.
So thank you very much, Federico, for your testimonial. So now perhaps we can show you the teaser video of the Collider.
What you learn at our university is always a bit more related to technology and the theory behind it.
All I've been doing until now is like learning about the technical stuff, but I never really got to apply it in a way as I could do during this EuroTeQathon.
And working on this open-ended challenge gave a completely different perspective on going through a process of starting a business, starting a team, and really trying to create a sustainable organization while also solving a sustainable challenge.
It was really nice also to discover the way that other universities are making their team work, the spirit of it, the methodology of it. So it was, quite inspiring, and it was really nice to meet people in real life and just take it all in.
Especially the European part where we got to communicate with other students from the other universities. I think that was really nice, yeah.
After working for like 1.5 months on the Collider, together only on Teams, it was really a good experience to see them physically. Team building is not just about working together, it's about sharing your stories after work, having some beers, sitting together for lunch.
What did you learn?
I learned to look at the problem from a different perspective.
Thinking outside of the box.
This is Team Azura. Hey.
The winner is Team Azura. Congratulations.
It was really inspiring to meet all of these people working really hard on those challenges and see the energy that they provide while working on it and the good spirit that there is here.
Knowing that you're not the only team working on a project gave me motivation, and it was kind of, kind of led to a competitive vibe, which was good because it made us work harder.
We went through a lot of phases as a team, going from an idea to a concept to a pilot, and then having to restart all over again and doing that multiple times.
We really made last-minute big changes and we pulled it through. So we should take more risks and don't hold back because of any constraints. That is the biggest thing I learned. Anything is possible at any point of time.
So thank you, sorry for showing us this video. So now we have almost 15 minutes for Q&A sessions. Anyone that has some question, please proceed and ask your question, and we will give you the floor to ask your question to our speaker or even to us. So perhaps I will ask one question. So could you give some advice to students, maybe Adamu, Mohammed, one advice or two advices that you can give to a student that want to that is interested to this kind of project and doesn't know if he have to participate to the collider or not. Yeah.
One of the major advice I want to give intending or prospective students who want to participate on the EuroTeQ Collider is not to hesitate. This is a challenge-based learning. So it's an opportunity for you to apply your classroom theories, to real-world applications. It's not enough to write your project and have them packed in the library. So it's an opportunity to showcase, to show the world, your ability to solve, problems. So and also the fact that winning the competition affords you the opportunity to present your solution before the European Parliament, makes it more concrete, that this is like a gateway to bring your solution to a global stage. So if you have an idea, if you have a solution, please don't hesitate. Use this avenue, use this means, because you get resources. You get the networks, you get everything, even down to accorded research proficiencies. Everything is included. So just take the bold step, take the bull by the horn, and participate.
Thank you, Adamu, Mohammed, for your reply. Maybe Federico, do you have any advice for startup that want to participate to the Collider or the EuroTeQathon? Why the startup should be part of it?
I think a startup should participate because even if it's a student focused experience, it's still, most of us are still student anyway, and it can really give you kind of a different perspective. And just if it is for the different kind of feedback that you get for everyone. There were, I don't remember how many we were at the EuroTeQathon last November, but we were at least 50 people there. And this is all people that looks at what you're doing and can give you feedback and comments. And it's a lot of contacts that you're also getting, and it's a really good experience, just even if it's just for that.
And Phyllis, we have a question from Rafael Ramansoa. I hope I pronounced well. What is the range of academic backgrounds? Are there people coming in with little to no experience in engineering? No.
So perhaps Elise can reply. Elise Ehrlich. I will introduce her. She's our educational designer at Ecole Polytechnique, and also she's coordinating and organizing the collider at Ecole Polytechnique. So perhaps Elise, you can give more input on this question.
Background of every student enrolled in the collider, but I think the profiles were very diverse, and some of them had less experience in engineering than others. So I would say it's a more inclusive experience, because then the ones that have less engineering background bring something different to the table. So yeah, I would say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, another question from Gregor Jakubiak. Are there any particular skills needed to take part?
So from my perspective, there is not really a skill that need to take part, just like you have to know how to collaborate with other people, maybe have entrepreneurship mindset, but also teamwork. And I think it's the two skills, in my opinion, that is needed to participate to the collider and the EuroTeQathon. Of course, you will give your technical, practical skills, but as a soft skills, I think the teamwork and entrepreneurship mindset and open-minded as well is needed to participate to this project. We have another question for Vincent Mer. Challenge-based learning is an inclusive process. Did anybody, teachers or stakeholders, pay attention to diversity and inclusion aspect during collider and other projects? So perhaps for this question, maybe Olivier, that because you were the teacher for the collider, you have maybe more input on this.
I'm not sure I have a lot of input. Of course, I think people from the different teams from the different university were from different background.
Yes, because in terms of diversity and inclusion, the aim of the collider is to integrate everyone, any students, a master, bachelor, or PhD, but also the aim of the collider is to is an opportunity to other people, part of the society, municipalities, cities, to take part for this challenge-based learning for this project. So we include the diversity and the inclusion in that aspect into the collider project. I hope my answer was okay for you, Vincent. Other questions?
Maybe in addition to
yes,
yes, in addition to diversity, I think diversity plays like a really very great role, judging from my own personal example, because I remember after our first like initial pitch, and then there was this lady from, is it that Daltech or DTU? And like after the whole thing, she met me personally and was asking insightful, questions. And I think one of the questions asked was, if we are working like on waste, and then we get this waste product because they are less expensive, because they are easy to get, they are cheap, and then we transform this waste into useful products. So that means what we've added value, yes. So what if the people who give us this waste decide to monetize it? How are we going to go about it? Because the cost advantage is one of the reasons why our product is cheap in the first place. So if there's a value added to this waste and it is monetized, like how, and we never thought about this particular issue. And this particular lady is a lawyer who specializes in ESG, environmental social governance. So you can see like the role of diversity. We, on my team, we're all engineers, and then see the angle she asked, which we never thought about. And she also asked some legal questions, which were really very interesting. And coming from an engineering background, you might not really think much about it. So.
Thank you, Adamu Mohammed. It's true the interdisciplinary aspect is a very is a crucial role part of the project collider. So as a wrap up, maybe Gaelle, you have final words toward the collider project that you want to give us.
First of all, I would like to thank you all for your participation, including, of course, the former participants of the team before, the professors and all the students today. No, the final word, of course, is just that so the collider is a great experience and a great opportunity to work on a multicultural project and to work on its capacity also working in a team and in an entrepreneurial project. So I just wish that all the students here, if there are more questions, they can ask questions also internally at the university, and I just wish that everyone here would be interested, of course, in participating. And but I don't want to have the final word. So our provost joined us during the conference. So Dominic.
Okay, so sorry, I should have taken the talk at the beginning, but I have an emergency, so I just come a bit later. So thank you, Gaelle, and thank you everyone for either being there or for making testimonies on what the collider is. For one thing, I have to say that when we created EuroTeQ at the beginning, I think that the collider was at the core of this European university as something that would, where all the stakeholders will meet in this challenge-based learning. So I think if you are curious, if you want to innovate, if you want to find solutions to some problems of sustainability or other, you should join the collider, and we would be really happy to have you in the teams and to see you in the EuroTeQathon for the winners of the local EuroTeQs. So thank you again, and I wish to see you in a few months in the EuroTeQathon.
Thank you. So special thanks as well to Federico, Olivier, and Adamu Mohammed for your participation, and also for the fact that you share with us your experience into the collider and the EuroTeQathon. And also special thanks to Julia, Elise, for the organization, and also Gaelle and Dominic. And also thank you all for participating to the webinar. So we close our first webinar, and hopefully to see you again in the collider. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
And thanks to you.
Thank you.